Hi, welcome to Simply Narelle Stitches, and it's time for my next Flosstube. It is number 40, and today is the 1st of September 2025, and it's the first day of spring here in Australia. Doesn't feel like spring. It's actually really cool. So anyway, I have a little bit to show. I've got a pile of WIPS. They like stand about that high, I guess, on the desk next to me. And it is, yesterday was the end of Arbitrary August. And if you're new here, my Arbitrary August goal was to do a new start every day. And I actually managed to do that. So even with cataract surgery in the middle, I still managed to do a new start every day, or 31, not a new one every day, because some days I couldn't stitch. And what is it? Got an itchy head now. I've started recording. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I started 31 new starts. So awesome. And now, sorry, if I'm looking down, looking at my notes, because the brain is mush, I'm not going to remember anything I wanted to say. And now I'm looking at myself and not the camera. Oh, nothing's changed since the last video. Still complete chaos here. Yes, so are you ready for my total number of WIPS? A lot of people are going to freak at this number, and some people are going to go, oh, that's nothing, I got more than that. So are you ready? Drum roll, please. Hang on, can I do a drum roll? All right. 119 WIPS. Yeah, I know. That's a lot, isn't it? I probably shocked a lot of people with that number, but you know, you can probably see a lot of them here in my little Kallax cubicles. You can only see 3 actually, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubicles. They're the 12 by 12 inch cubicles, and they're jam-packed with project bags. And that's with the pile next to me. I haven't actually got in there yet. And they're side by side, but also some are on top now, because they just don't fit. So I need to rearrange. I either rearrange my unit so I can use another cubicle for them, or I work on them a lot to get them down so I don't need another cubicle. The latter is probably the better option, because I'm also trying to do 60 finishes by the time I turn 60 next August. So probably don't want to encourage me to have any more new starts to expand my sections. I need to get them down. So anyway, so saying that, let's get on with what I worked on since I saw you last. Now, it hasn't been a full 2 weeks since I saw you last. I came back, I don't know when it was, the day I went and saw the eye specialist after my operation. So that would have been 19th, hang on, 19, 20, 21st, 22nd of August, something like that. It hasn't been a full 2 weeks. But anyway, this is what I've worked on since then. In no particular order, they're just as I pulled them out of the tub and put them on the desk next to me. So the first one I'm going to show you, I'm sorry, oh, I have a really sore throat, so I'm going to have to keep sipping my Lemsip hot lemon drink here, because I do not want to get sick. All right, so this is Something Blue by Rosewood Manor. Love Rosewood Manor. And this photo is not a great one. It's done on mottly fabric with a light colour floss, and I don't think it shows its true potential there. But I'm working down here in this section here, bottom left corner start. Now, that's unusual for me because someone else started this project first and I took it as a hand-me-down. She posted in, I think I showed this last time, but I'll tell you the story anyway in case you're new here. Oh, and I didn't introduce myself. I'm Narelle from Simply Narelle. And I stitch, hence why it's called Simply Narelle Stitches, and why you're here if you like cross stitch. If you're not interested in cross stitch, then toddle off right along, and it's been nice seeing you. Okay, so anyway, this one, I can't even find it on my list. Okay, Something Blue. I put in 388 stitches. So a lady put up in a D-Stash group that she had started it. She'd lost interest in stitching it. Wanted to know if anyone else would take it on and stitch it. And I went, yes, I will, because I love Rosewood Manor. So that was a no-brainer, and I can't talk and get the words out. What's new, huh? Right, so I'm going to try and hold it up against this so it's a bit more stable. I need to make myself one of those boards I can clip things onto, hey. All right, here we go. Anyway, so last time I showed it to you, I had done a little bit more down here and these letters. So this time I added in this row of border here and this bit at the top. So that's coming along nicely. And I found this pattern, oh my God, I could not get into it. I found it so hard to follow. I don't know, maybe I wasn't in the mood. Who knows? But that is where we are now. Beautiful colour fabric. Love the colour fabric. And the floss stands out on that, like, really, really beautifully. And I don't have a name or anything for the fabric. It was just what she stitched it on. She didn't have a tag or anything, did she? She didn't have a tag or anything there telling me what it was. It only came with the pattern and with a hank of this floss, which I'm pretty sure is ecru, however you say it. It's not white. It's definitely beigey, bony colour. Like cream is the right word. So I'm assuming it's a hank of, it's not silk, it's cotton. I think it's just a heap of DMC ecru. So that is the first one. And talk amongst yourselves while I put it all away. No, I keep looking at myself. Why? I need to look at the camera. Goodness. And now that's in back to front. And oh dear. Okay. Next one is a new start. Yeah, sorry about the zips if that's going to annoy you. I didn't think to unzip them all first. And I don't know how these slippery plastic Amazon bags are going to work. Trying to do this because they keep slipping and sliding everywhere. Alright, so the next one we have Mini Elegant Lady by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I don't know who the artist is. I don't have the details here with me right now. So I can't tell you who the artist is, but it was charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this was a new start. And this one I put into it 729 stitches, and that's where it is. So it's basically, I think that was, it's not black, it's a dark brown. But top left-hand corner start. So not a great deal to see. And that's up here. So I think it's going to take me a while to get to her. I did see though in down here, close to here, I think it's the start of the hat. I did see different colours and a different shape. So, and it's only a mini, so I'm hoping that it's not going to take me forever to get to any of those details. But that's very boring, just a dark brown. But that's why I could get 700 odd stitches into it in one night, because it's just the one colour. So, and it looks green on the photo in that section, but it's turning out to be a dark brown. So anyway, so that was the second one. Then I have, I'm pretty sure this was another new start. Oh, and that was just on 25 count even weave. That is it, or is it Ada? Let me have a look. Mini Elegant Lady. I'm actually doing on 18 count Ada. Yes. All right. So the next one is Tulip and Lily by Blackbird Designs. And this is from the Garden series or Garden Club series. I don't know what date they are. I don't know if there's a copyright date anywhere on them. 2016. So I got them all on a D-stash group. Eventually they all came up. I think I got like 3 or 4 in one bundle, and then the rest of them eventually came up, and I've gathered them all since then. And that is what some of them look together, all done on the one piece or joined together. I did want to do them all on the one piece of fabric, and then went, no. I kept getting or picking up small pieces of fabric from D-stash groups, and they were big enough for these projects, so I'm just going to do them on separate pieces. So this is done on a piece of Rustico by the look of it. It's quite a big count. I think this is a 14 count Rustico. And Tulip and Lily, I got 239 stitches done, and I am doing my own color conversion because some of these colors, the DMC conversions I didn't like. It's a bit, what's the word, prim or dark, too darker colors for me. I didn't really like it, so I'm just doing my own conversions. So it'll look fine when it's done, I'm sure. So that is what I've got done on that one. So they're not huge starts, but my goal was for Arbitrary August, 200 stitches on each new start. So I met that goal on all of them. Some got a lot more. They were either an easy stitch or I had more time to stitch. Yeah, so... But yeah, so now my WIP list has blown out. All right, this one was not a new start. I've done this for, I don't know what it was, a challenge somewhere, categories or something or other, who knows. This is an old kit. Wait, oh gosh, what a mess. All right, so this is an old Lucilla kit called Vintage Shoes. I still love this. It is really pretty stitched up. I'll put it sideways so you can see it straight on. Really, really pretty. 2004. I do believe I bought this when my daughter was born, possibly. And this one, Vintage Shoes. I got 248 stitches into this. Now, any of these projects I could have used for Arbitrary August, Survivor, Categories. They're both, Survivor and Categories, actually in Arbitrary August, were all in WIP Warriors. And also my Monopoly stitching. So I didn't write down what I did each thing for. But that is where that one is now, and I'm probably going to be too lazy today to put in before photos, so you just have to say, oh, that's pretty. Like, I don't care where you were before, how much you did. And a lot of them really, when you're only doing a small stitch amount, like 200 stitches, in the scheme of things, sometimes you can't tell what that is. So sometimes the before photo doesn't really do anything because you can't physically see the difference. This one though, however, I do know that I went up here and did this, all this up here. So that's the start of the flowers at the top. What is wrong with my head today? Itchy. All right, so that's the start of this up here. And then I'm going to finish that and then work down finishing it off. I've got beads to put in the middle as I go down. And then I've still got, well, I've only got 2, so I've still got 1 more shoe to go. Actually, I might not put beads as I go because I work on a Q-snap. I don't want them to be placed and get crushed, so I'll just do them last. So I've got the 1 more shoe. Look at that. I love that shoe. That is so pretty. And then that one. Yeah, so trying to get my old ones finished. And I do have a short list of the projects that I thought I'm most likely to be able to get done by August next year. Very ambitious, I know, but you got to set yourself a goal. Well, I do. Otherwise, I find that it's like, oh, if I don't have a reason to sit and stitch, even though I love stitching, if I don't have a reason to stitch, like a challenge or a goal to meet, it's like, no, I can't bother, I'll go do something else. I'll veg on YouTube watching videos all night, or I'll, you know, go sit and watch a movie or something. And I'd much rather be doing something useful with my time. So, yeah, that's why I like to do the challenges. They get me motivated to stitch. Okay, so, and they keep changing too. Every month there's different challenges and it's lots of fun. Okay, next one. Oh, sorry. I started my Year in the Woods series number 1. Finally. And I started with the fox. So you've all probably seen this. 1 million people are stitching it. And I got 329 stitches on this. I love that fox. Now I'm doing them all on the one piece of fabric, and I don't have the picture here. But they do recommend to do them in a certain order. I'm just starting with the first one and then doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not putting them in the proper order that they're meant to be in, because that's just not me. And like I've said in the past, if someone comes into my house who is a cross stitcher, which probably will never happen, and they say to me, that's not meant to be like that, it's meant to be done like this, then I'll go, well, there's the front door, off you go, never come back, you know. It's called personalisation. Right, and this is what I did. Just the border and a little tree. Not very exciting, but, you know, this is on a piece of 18 count Aida that I have dyed myself, and it's like a, that's a better colour. It's like a caramelly colour. So, what did I say? How much did I get on this? I probably told you already. Year in the Woods, 329. So, the tree doesn't stand out a great deal. I'm using the called for colours, DMC called for colours. But I'm thinking once it's all done, it probably will. So the main thing is meant to be like the fox, and it's done on grey, so it stands out a bit more on the grey. But I'm thinking it'll be fine in the end. This is sort of similar to the vintage country mocha or something that they call for if you want to do them all together. And that's why I dyed it this colour. I could have gone grey, but they said in the instructions that if you're doing them all on one, vintage country mocha is the colour to use. So that's what I tried to dye it to look like that. And I'm sorry if you can hear, someone's got a chainsaw or something outside. My lord, we have such noisy neighbours. They never used to be, you know. The people on this side never used to be noisy. Oh, now they've just been doing stuff in their backyard, and the guy on this side always been noisy since they've moved in. I swear to God. I don't know how much more this guy can do to his house on that side, because the house was quite nice when they moved into it. The old couple that were in there looked after it really nicely. But he has, I think, put a new kitchen in, a new bathroom. He's put a great big shed in the backyard. He's built stuff in the backyard, done so much stuff. Is constantly, every weekend, it's non-stop. Oh, drives us insane. Anyway, right, so next, another new start. And this is, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Alright, so this is Winter Montage by Pain Free Crafts. Janet Stever is the artist. And you've probably seen a lot of people stitching this. And unfortunately, well, it depends where you are. If you're still on the 31st of August, you can still get these, but they are retiring. So it's the 1st of September here, so it's too late for any Australians to jump on and grab the montages before they're retired. But if you're still in a time zone where it's the 31st when you're watching this, then jump over to Pain Free Crafts and grab them. They're big, there's a lot of stitching in them, but I'm up for the challenge. So this is Winter Montage, I should say. And I'm doing this on a piece of 18 count Ada. And this was a new start for Arbitrary August. I'm sorry, I'm probably repeating myself. But anyway. And I got 489 stitches in, so that's just the top left corner. Nothing to see yet. I think here somewhere I might start with a green. That might be green there actually. I think that's start of a green. I can see the outline now. That's this holly leaf here. See there's a slight one there poking out from the border. So I'm doing the cream because it was all sort of in here, the border, and carried down into here, those colours. And that here is the outline of that first holly leaf. So when I come back to it, I might do that just to see a bit of different colour. But how I stitch my full coverages normally is I do like the typewriter method that like the Stitcher Mummy does, and I'll pick a symbol and then stitch as many as I can reasonably reach or until the thread runs out. Then I'll pick sort of the next symbol and then do the same thing. And that works really well for me. And I have learnt that I can't count because I don't use gridded fabric. So I don't go beyond normally like 10 stitches anymore if I need to count. I'll just finish the thread. Depends what fabric I'm using. I'll either finish the thread or I'll park. But this is 18 count Ada, so it's pretty easy to flip the work over and tuck your threads underneath to finish. Or I'll do a pin stitch and cut it off. I don't worry about wasting a lot of thread. Like, obviously, if it's a really long piece, then I will park. But if it's only a short piece, if I've managed to, you know, get quite a lot of stitches out of it, then I'll just cut it off. If it's, you know, like that much left, I won't bother trying to save that. I'll just throw it out. Alright, so that was Winter Montage. I should have actually counted. I've got a lot of full coverages now and I didn't actually count them in the end. I'll do that for the next video if I remember. Okay, the next one up is another full coverage. Oh, jeez. My bag fell. All right. Okay, so this is... I can't remember the artist. Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have written it down. I've just got a picture. So I just printed out the pictures for them, not the first page. Anyway, so this is Birdhouse Gardens. Chiro Michetti, maybe. I can't remember who the artist is for this. I'm so sorry. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'll actually, I think, print out the first pages and tuck them in with a project so I can give you the details. Because I don't have size details or anything, colours or anything. None of them are super size max colours. No, I'm just not crazy like that. I'll just go normal charts. Really, really pretty. Love this one. And this one I got 234 stitches into it. It's done on 25 count even weave 1/1, and that is all I got done. It's all blues, a couple of different shades of blues, and that's the top left corner, and where the gaps are, I think they are leaves. So up here, so that's the blue of the sky, and the gaps that I've got, I'm pretty sure are going to be leaves. Yeah. And I've decided with all these full coverages, I know it's probably too early to start talking about WIP Go next year, but I think I'm going to have 2 WIP Go boards next year. Like I got 5 this year, and they're probably a bit too many, if the truth be told. Yeah. I have finished one though. Oh gosh, and that, guess which one that was? After Arbitrary August, I finished my new starts board. Yay! Yeah, so WIP Go. Oh, I'm so sorry, but you know, if you watch Flosstube enough, you know that there's a itchy nose curse if you're doing videos. All right, so back to WIPGO. I think I'm going to have 2 boards. One for full coverages, because I probably have enough to not fill the board, but a few of them to get on there twice. And the second board will be my designs. I have lots of designs already on my Etsy shop and my Simply Narelle. And I have all the charts that I design for my Bag of the Month club every month. I haven't always designed. Sometimes I've given them a kit or a chart from another designer. But I've designed a lot for the club. And I've stitched a couple of them, not many. So I want to get all them stitched, because people will tend to buy a project if they can see it stitched up. So that's the thought anyway. So I think they're going to be my 2 wait, I'm trying to work out which way this goes. My 2 WIPGO boards for next year. That way. Okay. All right, I've got this one sorted. Hang on. Just so that you can see it all. No, still not. Right, this is Garden Prelude by Mirabilia. Another new start for Arbitrary August. And I do have, this is just a fabric I grabbed off a D-Stash group, and it's a 32 count linen, but it has no name. No name, just 32 count linen. They bought from somewhere, Hobbycraft, for £5.99. It's British. Oh my goodness. And I thought it would work well with this piece because it's sort of the same colorway as what the sample is done on. So it's like a brown. It's actually darker than that. If I pull it back here, it's actually quite dark. But see, it's done on a darkish piece, so I thought that would work. And that is what I've got done. That is part of her dress and then the garden next to her. And for this one, I got 321 stitches. I'm sorry, nothing's ironed. And I started in the middle. So that would be the middle, and I've worked down. And then the reason I went down is because I want to work across, I think, to the garden on the side. May have also been the way it was in the Q stamp, and I could have bothered moving it, because I do like to work from the top left corner. So start in the middle, obviously with ones like this, work up and across. But I've started on her dress in the middle, and I'm working across to the garden. And I think I'm just going to put in, like, not do the whole garden as I go, just work my way across doing stems until I get to this edge, and then I can start working and filling everything in, if that makes sense. So I'm working the stems, and then I've done across here. So there's lots of green stems here that I haven't stitched because I'm just trying to navigate my way across to the left edge. Yeah. So next May, I might do Mirabilia May, because I'm going to have a lot of Mirabilias now. I mean, I already had a few, but I'm going to have quite a few. Yeah, so I don't know what colour that is. A mystery brown, really, is what it is. Okay, and my next new start, oh, this one, dearie dearie, is another Mirabilia, Ring Around the Rose Tree. These cute little girls dancing around the rose tree. Very, very cute. Okay, so this one I'm doing on a piece of opalescent fabric. It's 32 count Belfast linen opalescent that I got off a D-Stash group. And yes, this one I got 365 stitches into it. So there's the pole down the middle. I started in the middle, and that's the girl's hands over here towards the left, over here. Yeah, but that's all got to come out because I'm stitching it on the wrong way on the fabric. So this is a landscape piece, okay? Wider across than it is tall. And yes, when I finished stitching, I went, hang on, I'm not going to fit all those girls in there. There is no way. And then I looked at my fabric and went, okay, because it is the wrong way on the fabric. My fabric, I should be stitching that way. So those 365 stitches need to come out. Oh, sorry about the cough. Yeah, so I was like sat there staring at it for like half an hour after I finished stitching. I went, I don't believe I just did that. Yeah, so disappointing. It's the first time I've ever done that. I went, well, there's a first for everything, isn't there? Yeah. And I need to overlock all the edges of my fabric because I keep losing bits. So this will probably go in the naughty pile for a while. I don't know. I've got a lot on in September stitching wise, so I don't think I'm going to get to it to be able to unpick that and start again. But does that count if you're doing a challenge and you have to unpick? So instead of stitching, say 200 stitches I need to do, could I unpick 200 stitches and that would count as my doing 200 stitches on a piece? Could I get away with that, do you think? Maybe I should try and find out. Oh, that'd be a good way to do it. All right, next we have another new start for Arbitrary August. Another Blackbird Designs Garden Club series, and this is Apple Orchard. So this was number 2 apparently in the series. And I'm doing this on a piece of 18 count Aida that was just from a D-stash group. And I got into this one 256 stitches. And again, this is my own colour conversion. I didn't have one of the colours I think it called for, so I just chose my own that are close. And I didn't like the DMC, one of the greens for the leaves. It was too khaki olive for me. So yeah, chose this one. And that is, chose that one, sorry, that green. And that's what I've got done. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So I think my son's going to be awake now. It is, I don't know, what is it? It's 11. I don't even know what the time is because I'm using my phone. It's 11 something maybe. And my son was up a lot last night, a lot of the night last night. And so he went back to bed probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and said, I'll set an alarm for 11 because he wants to go to Westfields. And now these people are making a hell of a racket right outside his bedroom window. So I'm sure he'll be awake. And he won't be very happy. Ah, dear. I don't know what they're doing. They've been at it for days. We were hoping they were cutting the trees down. They've got along the fence line between us and them. We've got along, on that side of the house is all the kids' bedrooms, the bathroom, the laundry, the garage. And there's a driveway between the house and the fence. And then on their side of the fence, they've got these trees lining the fence, but they're really tall and they overhang. So twice a year we have to get a tree lopper in to chop them off along the fence line. But they're really tall, so they shade our house quite a lot on that side, which is good in summer, not so great in winter because it makes it really cold. So we were hoping that they were chopping them down, but no, I think they're doing something else. because I don't see the trees. Nothing's changed with the trees. They're still there. They've not chopped them any shorter or lopped any off, so I don't know. But they've had concrete sawing in there, and I don't know. Anyway, you came here for the stitching, not my whinging. Okay, so this one, I didn't even show you what it was. Get my act together. Okay, so this is another new start. Blackbird Designs Gardens Club Series number 4, Sweet Home. And this is very, it looks very patriotic to me, with the big blue flower and the red, these like red. So I'm changing the colours, and I'm not sure I'm going to put the quote in. Sweet Home, and then it's got, I don't even know what that says, something Kansas, a city in Kansas, Old Fine Kansas or something. I think I'm going to leave them out, and I might just fill this gap with another one of these over there. So anyway, and again, my own colour conversions, and on this one I put in 203 stitches, and I'm doing this on a piece of fabric I got from a D-Stash group. There's a common theme here, isn't there? Right, what do we got? Have I shown this before? I feel like I've shown this before. It's a yellow 14 count Ada, and that's all it had. Bit of cardboard with that written on it, and then that on the back. So I think they've just used a bit of packaging to write on what it was. But I have a feeling I've shown this already. I must have worked on it more. And I did 203 stitches. So yeah, I've shown it already. I've just done more. I filled in the basket. These are meant to be satin stitches. I didn't feel like doing them, so I just filled them in with crosses. So that is that one. So I've continued up the border. Okay. I don't have too many more. There's only like 2 more to show you. So we are going great. Right. Next, I'll show you that one last. Right. This is a basket of cherries. I've shown it before. I've done this for, I think this was Survivor. I think this was the WIP I chose, either the World or Australia. I can't remember. But it's Basket of Cherries, another Garden Club series, number 1. Beautiful big basket of cherries. This one I'm doing my own colour conversion. It's done on a piece of 14 count Ada, again from a D-Stash group. It's a cream. And this one's very, very close to being finished. So I'm hoping this will be finished and go to my 60 by 60. And that's where I am. So I stopped on this last time because I ran out of this colour. Well, I think that's 3859. I thought I ran out of it. It wasn't in my stash of threads. I had no spares, nothing. And then, so I ordered it with a bunch of other floss that I had run out of. I'd used up. And then I pulled this out because I got that big bag of flossing that I'd ordered, and I pulled out the skein of 3859 or whatever it was, put it aside and went, okay, I'm going to work on this one now. But I opened up my tray, my container that I've got all my floss, I've got several containers, I've got my floss, these in. And I got the right container out with that series of colours in it, and before I opened it I sort of glanced at the bobbins in there and I saw 3859. I went, what? I didn't think I had that one. It was actually in the wrong spot. So that's why I thought I was out, because I filed it incorrectly. I don't know what was going on. So I bought it and didn't need it, but now I've got a spare. So I've finished up here. I'd run out over here. I did the middle there and carried that bit down here, did this bit, filled in a lot of the cherries because that colour's in the cherries as well. Now I think I've just got the basket to do, and there's a little flower pot over here. So all I've got is that basket and this little flower pot over here, and the rest of it is done. So that should be a finish very, very soon, I'm hoping. Although now in Survivor they've merged the teams and I've got individual projects for individual people now. So I'm going to have to just bring this out for something else because it won't see any more Survivor stitching. So I don't want it to languish. I want it to be a 60 finish. All right, and the last one I have is actually a finish. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, I'm going to show you the picture because this is what it looks like anyway. Soar into Summer by Jeanette Douglas, and here we go. It's a finish. My own conversion of colours, and I love it. And look at this, look at this, look at this. Specialty stitches. I never ever do specialty stitches. I don't have the brain power half the time to think about what I'm doing. So I just like the mindless crosses because it's easy. I don't have to think about it. The only thing I have to think about is counting, which most of the time's okay. Well, you know. Yeah, so I decided that I would do the specialty stitches, and I really like how they came out. Those pinwheels are so beautiful. I love, love, love them. Not saying I did an excellent job stitching them, but they look really effective. I'm sorry, is that blurry? And then there's meant to be like, that's meant to represent water or something. And then these represent beehives. Now, down here I've got 2 rogue stitches. I went down too far, but I started from this end and worked across and thought, oh, I'm not picking them out. There's too much I need to pull out, so they're just staying. And yeah, they'll just be bees trying to escape or honey dripping down or something. But yes, so there's my finish. That is finish 23 on my countdown to 60. 22. Hang on. No, number 23 on my countdown to 60. So I'm a third of the third of the way there to get my finishes, 60 finishes by August next year. Can I do it? Probably not. But I don't have enough smalls, I think. I'm definitely not going to get a full coverage finish by then. No way. Alright, so that is all the WIPs that I worked on. So now I'm going to talk about plans. Right, Monopoly. I may have to pause Monopoly because I have a lot going on in September. If I do decide to do another round of Monopoly, you'll see it next time because I'll let you know what I stitched on for Monopoly when I come back. Today is the 1st of September, so it's the start of the Fox Stitch Along. If you want to stitch on a project with a fox on it, it is the Fall for Foxes sale. And I'll be starting on my Fox full coverage, or not quite full coverage, my Fox piece, which I'll show you next time because I hopefully will get a few stitches into it. And then I'm doing ABC Ingo for the magazine monthly group, and it's a different prompt every day, and I've selected 10 maybe different projects. Let me pull out my sheet. Hang on a minute. I had to type it up because I was getting really confused. Alright, so for my ABC Ingo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 projects for ABC Ingo. And that's, I've just printed that up. So there's my ABC Ingo projects, my Monopoly projects, my Survivor projects, and against each Survivor person, you know, what their project is, my temperature stitching, and then Amazing Race, what I've assigned to each team. So like I just alluded to there, I'm doing continuing the survivor stitching till that finishes. It's only got another couple of weeks to go. And then I'm starting the Great Race, Amazing Race, isn't it? The Amazing Race or the Great Race or something it's called. And that is starting September 8. And there's 13 teams in that, and I've assigned a WIP to each team. And then I'm starting temperature stitching again. So I decided that I have so many WIPs, I need to try and touch them all more often. So I'm also focusing on the ones I can get finished. So I'm hoping that I can get through all that. It is a lot. And there's going to be multiple projects a day I'm going to have to work on, I think. Some I've doubled up the WIPs, so I've got them for a couple of different challenges. But I try not to do that too often because I wanted to still touch as many WIPs, like I said, as I can. And if I double them up or triple them up or quadruple them up, then I'm not going to get as many projects completed as I want to. So that's a lot of stitching, and I'll see how I go. But I found with Arbitrary August, I didn't mind changing projects a day. Multiple projects a day, it was fun. So, I worked out for temperature stitching starting today. I'm doing the forecasted temperatures. So I looked ahead for the week, and very boring week of temperatures. We've only got 3 temperatures for the whole 7 days. Monday and Tuesday are going to be 21 degrees Celsius maximum. And then we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday are all going to be 23 degrees maximum. And then Sunday is going to be 24. So that's only 2 different projects because I've got them, each project has 2 temperatures. And I've got like for one, temperatures ending in 1 and 3 are the same project, and that's Christmas Delivery by Cottage Garden Sampling. So that project, if I get all my temperature stitching done, is going to have 600 stitches in it, which is massive amount of progress to get it close to a finish. And then the only one other project is Blooming Bouquet by Jeanette Douglas, and that'll get 100 stitches into it. So there we go. Lots and lots happening, and hopefully I can get some decent progress and get all my WIPs worked on that I want to. Very ambitious, and I probably won't get anything to it. And I don't want to get to the stage, like thinking about all the challenges that I'm doing. I am doing a lot. And last time I did a lot of challenges, I got burnt out very quickly and I just stopped stitching because it was overwhelmed. And I just thought, no, that's just too much. It's meant to be fun. It was starting to not become fun because I felt pressured to do so much. But this time around, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. And I'm hoping that this time it's like, well, these are challenges that I set myself. No one is forcing me to do them. No one's, holding me at gunpoint to do these challenges or this stitching. And if I don't want to do it, I just won't do it. And I'll just go, no, I'm just going to focus on the one challenge and be done with that, be happy with that. So we will see what happens. What else did I want to talk about? I don't have any other notes written down. I do have an update for my USA customers, if you're still watching. I've reopened shipping to the States. I have found alternate carrier to ship my goods with. Australia Post have suspended shipping to the States. I'm now going to ship using DHL Express. It does mean shipping's quite expensive. But if you take in the conversion rate, what's it called? The exchange rate, that's the word. Take into the exchange rate, it's not too bad. So, I mean, if you're only buying a $10 product, then yes, it's a lot of money for a $10 product. But some people may want to pay that. I mean, I have, like I said, I think I said before, I've got customers who'll buy a $10 product and spend $28 Australian on postage. So now they're unfortunately going to have to be paying a lot more on postage, but if it's a more expensive item, the postage is the same. It's like no matter what you buy, the postage is going to be the same. Not the same as before, but the new rate. So if you put more items in your order rather than just buy the one, the postage won't be too bad because you're getting more value for your postage, if that makes sense. So that is where we're currently standing with the postage. Now, saying that, I don't know when Australia Post are going to get their act together and get their stuff sorted. But come the 1st of October, DHL are putting a surcharge on top of what they're already charging because they're going to be really busy with all these new customers. So someone though said today, apparently all carriers do that during the busy Christmas period lead up to Christmas. Australia Post never did that, so I don't know. I've never used any other carrier, so I don't know if that's true or not. But come the 1st of October, I don't know how much that surcharge is going to be. That may very well mean I have to can shipping again because, you know, if people are already going to be paying, say, $70 for postage for an item, and then I have to whack on an extra charge on top, that's just getting ridiculous. So I may have to can US orders again come October 1. But I'm hoping that Australia Post get their act together before them and I can go back to a decent shipping figure, because I have heard that it's only going to be like $1.60 or something per shipment with Australia Post, plus a tariff, obviously. So fingers crossed. Plus there's also talk of there's a federal Supreme Court case or something going on in the States about Trump having the authority to change the tariffs or something. Apparently he doesn't have the power to put an executive order in place to change them. So, but that court case is not going to happen apparently until October anyway. So who knows? It's all very up in the air. And it's frustrating because America's 30% of my customer base. So anyway. What else? Also wanted to mention I got a few new items in both my stores. I got some new floss drops in there. Some daffodil floss drops to match the charity bag that I've got in there. And I also got some more project bags in there. Some floral ones, a love heart one, and I got more coming. So yeah, just, you know, takes time to sew this stuff and get it listed. Anyway, that's all I wanted to cover. My shops are always listed below. So I've got simplynorelle.com and I've also got my Etsy store. And just a note on that, I don't tell people they have to buy. If you want to buy, that's up to you. And I love every order I get. I love every customer I have. But just a little note that if you have friends and family who have and run small businesses, this is, I don't know, how do I word it? I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm just asking for understanding for every small business owner, because with the changes at the moment with the US shipping, a lot of small businesses are going to get a big impact from that. And being a small business owner, and particularly a one-person business owner, which most in the cross-stitch world are, you do everything yourself. So you wear lots of different hats. You have to be the CEO, sales and marketing, production, logistics, IT, every other thing you can think of, accountant, everything you can think of that goes along with running a business. When you're doing it yourself, you've got to cover all that yourself. And it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of family time, like time away from family to do that. Takes a lot of time you could be sleeping doing that. Yeah, so if you don't want to buy from a business, that's fine. But just consider when you see a social media post or a video like this, for example, just like it or comment or share. Any of those will help that small business get seen by more people without you having to feel like you need to buy if you don't want anything or you can't afford anything. You can still help that business out by sharing and commenting and liking and things like that. Because what I've noticed recently, particularly with this, like I said, that's what I was going to say, with the tariff thing at the moment, Etsy, like I know I have my own website as well, which I don't have marketing or ads in place at the moment to get that pushed out. So the traffic on that is really, really low. And my main traffic is coming through Etsy, on Etsy. So I don't know, Etsy haven't come out and said it, and they probably never will. But a lot of, I've seen in quite a few groups that I'm in, a lot of Etsy sellers complaining that their visibility on Etsy, their views, their reach is really, really low. Even if they haven't turned off shipping to the States and they're not in America, a lot of overseas stores are struggling with visibility and sales at the moment. And I have a feeling it's got to do with the US shipping issue that's going on. We're just not being seen. And the interesting thing was, I turned US shipping back on Thursday last week. And I have seen a very slow but steady increase in views since then. So I reckon there's some weight in that. And that's just another slap in the face to us who are not in the States. You know, it's hard enough as it is, trying to get seen with all the amazing competition that we have over there. And people say, why do we focus on the States so much? It's because it's such a big market. When you look at the amount of people in the States and how big stitching is in the States, countries like Australia and other small countries are just a tiny little drop in the ocean. We don't have the volume of population and or stitches here to sustain lots of businesses. So America is a huge market for us. So take that away and we're going to suffer. We don't have enough business in Australia to keep a lot of us going and viable, really. So anyway, just a little caveat at the end. If you're still here, if you don't care, that's fine. But I just thought I wanted to raise that because a lot of people are not aware of A, how hard it is to run your own business, and B, what the impact of selling to the States really has on businesses outside of the States and why it is so important. Yeah, so anyway, that's it. I'll get off my little soapbox, as they say now, and wish you all a happy day. And I hope you have a wonderful 2 weeks of stitching till I see you again, and you get lots and lots and lots of stitching in. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, happy stitching, and stay safe. Bye-bye.